You say my name, and 1,000 stars light up the sky, and 1,000,000 candles burn inside my heart. You move me. You touch my soul, and a symphony I've never heard explodes within and fills my world with love, glorious love. And I will run to you. Catch me and hold me in the center of your heart.
Yeah.
I will run to you. Never ever let
Hello,
me
girl.
go.
How are you?
Where will I go?
If you're logging on, let me know where you're logging on from. Happy Love Month. This can be a good month for some and a bad month for others. But we're here to help you navigate through the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Your spirit sweetly does persist and draw me near.
Let me know where you're logging on from, what time it is where you are, what's the weather doing. Hi, Carol. How are you?
You're never more alive than feeling. I'm feeling right now. I will run to you. Catch me and hold me in the center of your heart.
Yeah.
I will run to you. Never ever let me go. Where will I go if not to you? Yeah, you're all I have and all I need. The life I live, the air I breathe. I was lost, but now I'm found in you.
Atlanta, Michigan. I hear it's warming up a little in Chicago.
To you. Catch me and hold me in the center of your heart. I will run to you. Never ever let me go. Where will I go? If not to you.
Happy Love Month, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. Who's getting off of work? Who's working at home? I will run. I love love, don't you? Wrote this love song many years ago for a friend of mine's wedding, and it was a blessing to be able to share in song my congratulations for her meeting her Prince Charming. And she was so cute afterwards. I asked her, I said, well, how do you like married life? And she said, I love married life. It's like having a slumber party with your best friend every night. And I thought, wow, what a great explanation. And don't we all wish that every married couple felt that way, that they were having a slumber party with their best friend every night? What a celebration of love, right? But that happens when you wait and do it right. And she waited for many years and she was sad for many years. And I was like, girl, he's coming. Get over it. Enjoy the time you have. When he shows up, it's going to be a different season in your life. And finally, one day she came and she was all aglow. And she said, I think I've met him. And sure enough, he was the one. And they have lived happily ever after. Really great marriage. They're really great friends. They like each other, love each other. They're in love with each other. And that is the criteria. You know, I get asked a lot about how do you know when you met the right one? And I said, when you can authentically be yourself and they love you anyway, then you know you've met the right one. That's your friend. That's your bud that has evolved into a love partner. So hopefully, if we take the steps to do things right, we evolve into love with someone that we connected with and find that we share the same values, the same outlook on life. You enjoy each other's company, and the feeling that you have when you're together is addictive. And you decide that one day, neither one of you wants to go home anymore. You want to spend the rest of your life together. So the question for tonight is, what do you want your relationship to look like? Because I find that a lot of people that go from relationship to relationship are simply looking for a relationship. They don't know what they want. So they don't have any criteria. They don't set any boundaries for their heart to know when this is a yes and when this is a no. And so it's very, very critical for you to not. I think the last conversation we had, we talked about knowing yourself, knowing who you were, what your values were, what you brought to the party, what you have to give in a relationship. But now, what does that relationship look like? What is it that you value in a relationship? Is it security? Is it peace? Is it laughter? What are the things that you value? If you want to put some of those in the chat for me so I can just see where everybody's coming from tonight, I'd like to know what's on your mind as we have this conversation about love. This is Love Month, and it's the kickoff for me to share with you that I will be having and holding a love masterclass in April. And there's an early bird special going on now that you need to take advantage of. Um, I'm also going to be launching a new book called How to Make Love Work to celebrate the masterclass. So trust is huge, right? Because we live in a society. I was just looking at something on Instagram about polygamous relationships, and the guy was going on and on saying he didn't like the culture of monogamy, and this woman was on and she had two husbands, and I was like, how is that really working? I mean, does that really settle in your spirit and make you feel good and make you feel peace? But I believe that that was their way of dealing with the trust factor, right? Because now you don't have to worry. He said you don't have to worry about anybody cheating on you. Well, they still are. They're not being faithful to you. They're sharing themselves with another person. I don't know how that really works, but some people are there. I'm not there. I don't believe God is there, but that's where some people are living right now because everyone begins to make compensations for their disappointments in life. In the love arena, we begin to make excuses and make justifications and adjust our value system so that adjust our expectations so that we don't find ourselves falling prey to disappointment or feeling rejected or betrayed. So it's very, very important, though, to know God's standard of love and what He knows is best for you and will be good to you. The word says all things are lawful, but all things are not beneficial. Okay. So you can have 10 boyfriends and nobody's going to arrest you for that. But is it really beneficial to your heart, beneficial to your soul, beneficial to your spirit, your mindset, and even your body? Okay. So think about that. What is it that you want? So one person has answered trust. What else is a huge factor for you when it comes to relationships? Let's talk about it a little bit tonight in the short time that we have together. I'm in Ghana, West Africa. So it's after 10 p.m., but I wanted to log on. Integrity. Yes, there it is again. Trust, keeping your word secure. Keeping your word is huge, right? Because if someone says, the most famous faux pas is, I'll call you. And then the person doesn't call. And the person waiting for the call feels off balance until they do call, or they begin to question themselves, question their worth. Why didn't the person call? He loves me not. She loves me not. It's too much. Let us be people that keep our word. If we say we're going to call you, we're going to call you. Right? So it's really, really important for us to know what we're looking for so that when we meet people, we can do the size up. Is this person matching the profile that I've created for what I want my relationship to look like? If not, keep it moving. Somebody comes into my, let's go with the flow. And you're a person that wants to know specifics on where is this heading. then you know that that person is going to keep you off kilter, off center. You're not going to know where everything is going, and you're not going to have peace. And I believe that one of the big components in any relationship that's important is peace. You shouldn't have to wonder about that person. There's too many other things in life to wonder about. Know thyself and God so we can see right away what God's plan is for our life. Exactly. So it starts with you. I always say that love starts with you. And that when we do the work on ourselves to become whole, then we make better choices and decisions concerning who we align ourselves with. The word says, how can two walk together except they be in agreement? But that means that you need to know what you're agreeing with, what's important to you before you even get into those discussions. Otherwise, you'll get talked right out of your values and into a place called compromise that you won't be comfortable with. And as time goes on, you'll wonder why you have no peace because you're not authentically being yourself and you've become a chameleon and turned into something else in order to accommodate someone in your life because you feel you need someone in your life. Something is not always better than nothing. Not if it recreates you. If not if it turns your life upside down and inside out in the pursuit of a relationship. The relationship is something that should happen organically over time as you're walking together. Hi, Rhonda. How are you? Ah, you're in Hawaii. How's the weather there? Yeah, so it's very, very important to. I want to read this to you. I was discussing this last night on another call, and I just love the message version when it came to this of Psalm 139. Let me see if I can find it right quick. Yeah, might not have come on this phone. Hmm. Let me see. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong folder. Don't worry. Hold on there. I got it coming. Yes. Psalm 139 says, God, investigate my life. Get all the facts firsthand. I'm an open book to you. Even from a distance, you know what I'm thinking. You know when I leave and when I get back. I'm never out of your sight. You know everything I'm going to say before I start the first sentence. Doesn't that sound like an old married couple? You know, married couples finish each other's sentences after they've been together so long that they've actually become one, you know. But he's saying, investigate my life and get all the facts firsthand. And I like that because we need to investigate our lives and have all the facts firsthand. We need to really be up on ourselves. How many of you ever do the online dating process? I've only done eHarmony, and it actually was research for a book that a television show that I was hosting at the time. But I was amazed at the level of questions that they asked you. And you had to really stop and think. And they were things that you would not ask yourself normally. They were some hard questions, and some were very deep and penetrating, and really forced you to take a look inward at what was important to you. What did you need to have in a relationship, want to have in a relationship, didn't want in a relationship? And it's good to do all of that inner work so that when you recognize your list next to the person that's in front of you, you'll be able to make a better choice. Psalm 139, he goes on to say, you know me inside out. You know every bone in my body. Okay. You know exactly how I was made, how I was sculpted from nothing into something. You shaped me first inside, then out. You formed me in my mother's womb. Body and soul, I am marvelously made. Do you like yourself? Besides knowing yourself, do you like yourself? I think I've shared the story often about a friend of mine who said, if I met myself walking down the street, I'd want to be my friend. And at the time, I did not feel that way, but I made it a goal to get to that. Who did I want to meet that would delight me and fill me with joy and make me want to spend time in their presence? I wanted to be that person. And so we really have to do the inner work. Love begins with us. And I find that for most people, love begins with finding someone else to make love and create love in their world. And that's backwards. Because now what that's doing is giving the other person far too much power over your life, number one, and far too much responsibility. Responsibility that they're going to feel the weight of and flee from because they're not going to want to be that responsible for your heart. So it's very, very important to own your own heart and to make it feel safe yourself. You know, the person in your life should not be somebody that you just, that what was that Tony Braxton song? Breathe again, breathe again. No, it should never get to the point where you can't breathe without that person. That person is the icing on the cake, not the cake, okay? God is the substance of your life. He's the one that fills all those empty spaces, and this person becomes a plus. They organically become a plus in your life. As a matter of fact, when they come into your life, you were fine without them, okay? But as you walked with them, you said, hey, life is getting better because you're in my life. I'm a better person. Life is better. They should be adding to the happy, not subtracting. Okay, which means you got to be happy before they show up, because the miserable single will be a miserable married person, because once again they'll be placing the responsibility for joy and wholeness on a person that doesn't have the capacity to do that. You'll be wanting a gallon of love and they'll have pint capacity. You won't recognize it at the time until you're already in the relationship knee deep, before you realize that you're not getting out of it what you are putting into it and what you expected of it. So we've got to adjust our expectations based on what we value, who we know ourselves to be, and knowing our own worth, knowing that you do deserve more, that you do deserve the right kind of love in your life. I find that a lot of people settle for what they think they deserve. What do you think you deserve? These are questions that I'm posting to you tonight because I want you to really think. I want you to go deep. As a life coach and as a relationship coach, it is my duty to make you a whole person, whether you're in a relationship or not, to take you on that journey to wholeness, so that no matter what level or relationship you're in or out of, you are satisfied, whole, fulfilled, healthy in and of yourself. That is very important. Two whole people shall become one. Two broken people only create a broken relationship. So it's very, very important to do the hard work and know who you are, what you value, and not settle for less than that. Now, somebody might be saying, well, does that mean, that I'm really, I'm being too picky? Shouldn't I dummy down? No, you shouldn't dummy down. But in another conversation that we'll have, we'll talk about expectations versus standards. But that's a longer conversation, and I'm only going to be on for a few more minutes. But here's the thing. You need to know that you do need to have standards. Okay. You need to have realistic standards. Okay. Not, oh, I wanted to buy me a Chanel bag and take me on a trip around the world. No, that's the extra perks. Let's look for solid character. Let's look for integrity. Let's look for the stuff that matters, the stuff that will last a lifetime, regardless of finance, aging, physical changes, all of that, because those things will change. Those things will fluctuate. They will go up and go down. So you've got to have a standard of things that are internal that will not change. Okay. Integrity, character, faithfulness, kindness, gentleness. These are things that should be growing. The only changes should be being made there is that they are growing in their capacity, right? But all the other things, the external stuff, finance, trips around the world, all of that can change. The world economy could mess you up. Lots of different things could happen. So let's focus on what is really, really, really important. So I'm giving you homework till Wednesday when we get back together to think about it. Take the time to, get yourself some tea, get a little journal, put on a little soft music, and sit and reflect on, what do I want my life to look like? What do I want my relationship to look like? Who is this person internally? Notice I haven't said, what do you want the person to look like? What do you want the relationship to look like? Let's focus on that and make sure that we're looking for someone that fills the slot for the job description that you just wrote. Yeah, it's a job description. Did you know that? It is a job description. And on any job, everyone has to fill out an application and answer some questions and share their qualifications before they're hired for the job. Let's not just jump in feet first, not checking to check the temperature of the water before we jump into the pool. Let's do our homework. Let's do the interview. Let's take our time to observe, because sometimes in the interview, people, say what they think you want to hear, but over time, it reveals if that's true or not. So, my challenge to you tonight: journal. What do you want your relationship to look like? What do you want your life to look like? And make sure that you sign up for the masterclass. You can go to michellehammond.com. We've built up quite a community. This will be the third year. We do this once a year, and it will change your life. It is 6 weeks of videotaped classes. There's 10 modules, I believe. Yeah, 5. Yeah, so it's 60 lessons altogether. But you can take them at your own pace. You can watch the films, the little lessons every day, about 10 to 12 minutes. And then every 2 weeks, I do a master class with you. So we'll have Q&A, we'll have an exchange. You'll get to mix and mingle with the community that's in the class. We have a Facebook page where everyone shares and exchange. And it's a lifetime membership. Once you join the class, you can always take it over, which everyone does, because they have realized that every time they take the class, they get to another part of the puzzle in their lives. So it's a great community. I'm sure you're going to love it. And there's some perks in there when you do the early bird special. You'll get a copy free of my new book coming up. And that's the other thing. Mark this on your calendar, February 13th through the 17th. My love gift to you is a free copy of my novel, The Last 10%, and it is juicy, okay? Now, if you're into audiobooks, you can log on to speakthewordaudio.com to download. You'll have to purchase the audio, but the e-Kindle book will be free from the 13th to the 17th of March. So there you go, 13th of February. Okay. So 13th to the 17th of February. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. But anyway, think about it. I hope you'll log back on Wednesday and we can continue the conversation about how to make love work. But remember that love begins with you. God bless.